It began, as most great American sagas do, with a routine traffic stop that escalated into biological warfare. Police in Redding, California say a woman punched an officer, reached down her pants, and hurled the kind of evidence no one ever wants to catalog. That's right, she weaponized her own feces. Somewhere, the Founding Fathers just leaned out of the Constitution and whispered, "Absolutely not." According to the report, officers pulled over a car for a minor violation, nothing unusual. Flashing lights, paperwork, the faint scent of despair. But the suspect, let's call her Ms. Disaster, wasn't satisfied with ordinary. She turned a simple citation into an interpretive crime ballet. Instead of handing over a license, she allegedly threw a punch. Because when life gives you traffic stops, why not add felony assault? It's like losing one hand of poker and deciding to torch the casino. Most people would stop there, maybe yell, maybe resist. But Ms. Disaster had bigger dreams. When officers tried to restrain her, she reached into her waistband with the poise of someone about to present their business card and produce something far more personal. From the depths of her yoga pants came a handful of human punctuation marks. The kind that make even a veteran cop question every career decision that led them here. She threw it. Fastball velocity. No warning, no hesitation, just primal chaos leaving orbit. The report doesn't clarify the target zone, but accuracy stops mattering once your projectile is human. There's no good form here. There's only she threw it, and everyone involved needs therapy. Let's appreciate the logistics for a moment. She had to know it was there. She had to choose to keep it there. Then she had to think, this might come in handy. That's a level of unhinged preparedness most of us will never achieve. Some people carried pepper spray. Others apparently carry potential energy. The officer, to his eternal credit, didn't retaliate. Because there's no academy lesson titled Feces, a tactical response. You can train for de-escalation, for tasers, for hostage negotiation, but not for this. Somewhere tonight, a police chief is revising the handbook, effective immediately, double gloves, always. Because once you throw something like that, you're not just arrested, you're immortalized. She was charged with assaulting an officer, resisting arrest, and, unofficially, crimes against basic decency. The district attorney's office reportedly struggled to classify it. Someone probably stared at the case file and muttered, "Is biohazard assault a thing? If not, it is now." And think about the collateral damage. That evidence locker now holds the most cursed exhibit in county history. Some poor forensic tech had to bag it, tag it, and stare into the abyss while printing a label that reads, "Exhibit A, do not open ever." Meanwhile, the janitor outside whispered, "Not again," like this wasn't their first rodeo. Because the moment this story hit the web, civilization split into two groups. Half recoiled in horror. The other half started crafting puns with the speed and precision of NASA engineers. Talk about a crappy situation. Really threw a fit. She was full of it. You can't stop it. It's human nature. The worse the headline, the faster it becomes comedy. And this one practically wrote itself in brown ink. Still, behind the chaos, there's the question, why? What mindset produces that decision tree? Maybe panic, maybe meth, maybe a spiritual kinship with zoo animals. Whatever it was, it's a one-way ticket to local legend status. There's no recovering from being that poop thrower from Redding. You can change towns, change hair color, get a new job, but Google autocomplete is forever. In the days after, the Redding Police Department issued a statement so sanitized it could pass FDA inspection. During the arrest, the suspect exhibited aggressive behavior and biological misconduct. That's bureaucratic poetry. Biological misconduct sounds like a community college class that meets once and everyone drops out halfway through. Credit to the officers, they finished the arrest, filed the paperwork, and probably burned their uniforms in a quiet backyard ceremony. That's service above and beyond. Disaster is likely sitting somewhere in county lockup, processing the sequence of decisions that turned her into a viral headline, hopefully near functioning plumbing this time. This whole saga could have ended with a ticket and a sigh. Instead, it became a masterclass in what not to do with bodily autonomy, a reminder that impulse control isn't optional. It's civilization's last line of defense. Because one bad choice on a random night can turn into the phrase "suspect flung feces at officer," carved into public record until the end of time. That's the butterfly effect, except the butterfly smells terrible. So, what did we learn? Nothing useful, probably. Except that Redding, California now has its own folk anti-hero. A woman who took fight or flight and bravely introduced fling. The officer gets trauma pay, the courtroom gets disinfectant, and the rest of us get to marvel at humanity's unwavering commitment to new lows. And that's the beauty of it. Every week, America finds a new frontier of chaos we didn't know existed. Stay tuned, because if you think that's the weirdest thing police have had to clean up this month, your optimism is adorable. And speaking of cleanup, our next story involves someone who made a different kind of mess. Not a physical one, thank God, but a logistical one. Because while our last criminal relied on, let's say, organic materials, this next guy went old school, good old-fashioned fraud, duct taped together with Facebook confidence and zero business license. Meet the Connecticut man who decided to start his very own luxury limo service without an actual limo or a license. Or, apparently, a plan that extended past step one, post ad online. According to investigators, he ran a Facebook page offering private airport pickups, affordable, reliable, professional, which, in hindsight, reads like performance art. Customers sent deposits through Venmo, confirmed their trips, and waited for a ride that would never come. Not a car, not a text, just silence and probably a Facebook post about unexpected delays. No limo, no refund, no shame. People booked their rides to JFK or Bradley Airport, suitcases packed, family waving goodbye, and then stood there watching the driveway stay empty. Some probably thought, maybe he's circling the block. He wasn't. He was circling new victims. He kept doing it. Dozens of complaints rolled in. It takes a special kind of optimism to scam air travelers, the most punctual and stressed out demographic on Earth. These are people who show up to the airport 3 hours early and still sprint to the gate. You don't mess with their rides. That's not theft. That's emotional terrorism. The scam worked because it was so boring. No big drama, no fake chauffeur in a tux, just Facebook ads, polite messages, and gone. If this guy had pulled this stunt 20 years ago, he'd have needed a burner phone, a fake business license, and a Yellow Pages ad. Now, just Canva, a Gmail address, and misplaced ambition. When police tracked him down, they discovered he didn't even own a vehicle that could qualify as a limo. The man's entire fleet was theoretical, which technically means he was running the most environmentally friendly limo company in America. Zero emissions, zero cars, 100% bullshit. Somewhere, Tesla's PR team is jealous. Officers finally cornered him after weeks of no-shows and refund requests. He reportedly admitted he wasn't trying to scam anyone, which is a bold statement considering the pile of Venmo receipts and tears he left behind. He told police he planned to start the business soon, the world's first pre-order scammer. He was taking reservations for a company that existed only in his imagination, basically Elon Musk without the rockets. The victims, bless their trusting hearts, described the experience like a magic trick in reverse. Their money vanished and nothing appeared. One family missed their flight to Florida after waiting 2 hours for their driver, which, as it turns out, was just a man with an iPhone and a dream. And you have to wonder what was the end game here. He wasn't even hiding. His real name was on the Facebook page. His face was in the profile picture. This wasn't Ocean's 11, it was Craigslist, The Reckoning. If you're going to be a criminal, at least put in the same effort people do when selling old lawnmowers online. When authorities finally charged him, they discovered he'd been warned before to stop advertising without a permit. That's right, he got a cease and desist and thought, what are they going to do, arrest me again? Spoiler, they did. There's something deeply American about this, though. Not the crime itself, but the audacity. The spirit of entrepreneurship colliding headfirst with zero preparation. This is what happens when motivational quotes meet felony charges. Somewhere in his apartment, there's a framed poster that says, "Don't dream it, drive it." But credit where it's due, he saw a need and filled it. Well, he saw a need and pretended to fill it. And for a few glorious weeks, he ran a thriving fake transportation empire from his couch. Somewhere between a startup founder and a Craigslist troll, he found the gray area where delusion and ambition hold hands. Authorities say he's now facing multiple charges, including larceny and operating a transportation service without a license. Which means, ironically, he might soon be getting chauffeured to court in an actual vehicle this time, probably one with bars. It's almost poetic. He promised luxury rides and delivered hard landings. He marketed affordable comfort and gave people panic attacks in driveways. He could have just gotten a job with Uber, but no, he went full Wolf of Wall Street, minus the charisma, money, or wolves. The lesson, if a limo service asks for cash up front and spells chauffeur with a K, maybe call a friend instead, or just walk. It'll get you there faster. So there you have it, a man who redefined ghost ride. No car, no refunds, just vapor and audacity. And when the dust settles, somewhere out there, another Facebook user will still be waiting on their airport pickup, suitcase in hand, whispering, maybe he's just late. He's not. He's in court explaining to a judge how technically it wasn't fraud, just premature entrepreneurship. And honestly, that's the kind of business plan that belongs in the Museum of Bad Ideas, right between the guy who sold NFTs of air and the influencer who tried to open a restaurant with no kitchen. Because in the end, if you're gonna scam people, at least buy a car first. Dream big, drive nowhere, get arrested. Leave it in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, because God knows what other insane news I'm gonna dig up next time.